Welcome to Spotlight San Diego, everybody, and we want to showcase the most influential businesses in town, as we usually do. And there is a company that is setting the bar so high when it comes to real estate. Let me welcome in the CEO of Real Living Lifestyle, Steve Rodgers, who's been a guest of ours before. He's going to tell us about his company, but forget about the company for a second. We want to talk about current market conditions. Steve, how are you?
I'm good, Scott. Thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. Nice to see you.
Nice to be seen. Thanks.
So I can tell you that without knowing that much about the real estate market, because I'm not in the market to sell my home right now or to buy a home,
right.
I do know this. During the summertime, man, there were a lot of houses for sale, and they were going like that. How's the market doing right now?
You know, it's actually shifted pretty dramatically, very dramatically. In the first quarter of last year, it was kind of par for the course. It's kind of been stagnant. People have been used to 4 or 5 or 6 years of a down market. But in April, May, June, it really just started coming through the roof. We were seeing double-digit appreciation. We were seeing double-digit in units being sold, meaning number of homes being sold. So it was like, whoa! It was like just the floodgates opened.
What was that? Here, we're looking at a graphic right now, but when we see that high point,
yes.
yeah, what caused that explosion in those months that you were talking about?
Yeah, that's a great visual. So those are attached and detached. So you've got the attached homes, condos, townhomes, et cetera, and then detached. But it's the same wave there. So you can see in the first quarter, it really was a typical seasonality of a low market. But then what happened is interest rates just were at all-time lows. You know, 3%, 3.5% for money. There had been a lot of pent-up demand. It had been a lot of years that people have been held down in the real estate market. And the government had been doing a lot of things to stimulate the market that was finally starting to take off. And the cycle of just the real estate business finally coming back. Inventory had also gotten to an all-time low. About 2 or 3 years ago, we were running around 18,000 listings in San Diego. And say February, March, we were down to about 4,000 listings in San Diego. So it's just supply and demand economic 101.
Yeah, what are we looking at here now?
This is kind of probably hard to read that, but you can see it kind of compares last year, this year, and last month. But to put it in a nutshell, the average sales prices in San Diego are still up over last year. So if you look at November to November of last year, it's up for about 19% in condos and homes. Condos, and about 15% in homes. The problem is from October to November, it started dipping down.
Right.
We had a little bit of a mortgage increase, money still in the mid-4s, still dirt cheap money, but little thing like the government shutdown, you know, a little minor nuisance like that. Also, so that affected things, interest rate peak, and then what happened is we have seasonality typically anyway in that fourth quarter. So it was more of a perfect storm. Inventory has started increasing just a little bit because sellers started seeing that prices were going up. So the market really is, I don't know if I want to use the word volatile, but comes to mind volatile. It's a little bit of a volatile market right now.
Is now a good time of the year to be buying or selling? I always feel like the summer months is kind of the best time to sell because, again, this is not from an expert standpoint, but people look to like find the best schools, and so summertime would seem to be a really great opportunity if you were the seller. What about this time of year?
Yeah, you know, typically the perception is at this time of year being holidays and various things that it maybe not be the best time. However, a lot of people do start pulling their properties off the market because of the very reason you said. So if you have a serious buyer who's relocating, job transfer, who still realizes money is still pretty cheap, it is not a bad time to buy. But I will agree with you, the summertime is a peak. What's happening now though right now is it really goes down to an individual market. So even though I just shared with you the all of San Diego market, I can break this down now by zip code and actually tell a very different story. So example, I know you live in the San Diego area, Carmel Valley, Rancho Santa Fe, those areas are very different than say Escondido or Fallbrook or maybe Del Mar. So what's happening right now, it's become a really localized market. That particular story that I just told you for the county, there's some anomalies that it's different where it's actually appreciating and inventory is moving and things are happening. So my recommendation is, as they say, get to a realtor, find an expert who knows your neighborhood and have them answer that question for you specifically. But it is still a time to sell. I don't know if it's the best time to sell. It's a phenomenal time to buy because there's still a lot of negotiable opportunities out there.
So with under a minute to go here, the advantage to the buyer right now?
The advantage to the buyer right now is that interest rates, money is still very, very cheap. Sellers have also realized that the market has cooled a bit, and they may be, if they were trying to hold out for that peak price in the summer, realizing that's not going to happen, and if there's that house they love, the buyer may now just be able to get into that property that they thought at the price they wanted, because maybe sellers now are adjusting a little bit of their expectations because of this blip in the market. So it's kind of like when you play the stock market. When do you get in? It could be that day or that week. So if you're a buyer, keep looking, keep staying in the game, and making sure that you turn over every rock, if you would, with a professional to make that happen for you.
Steve, it is great to visit with you.
Always my
because,
pleasure.
I feel like I just learned a lot about what's going on out there in the real estate market. Thank you so much.
Hey.
What a pleasure. Happy holidays to you.
Hey, same to you. Thank you.
Thank you. And great shirt as always.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you.